Hey everybody, welcome to the Labyrinth of Limitations, continuing to talk about night in Tunisia and just little movements. So now what we're going to look at is octave chords. Now I didn't mention this in the last one, maybe even the one before, but you want to do each of these floors just in parallel like we did with the thirds. So broken chords, you would just want to go through and do this. Do that with triads, of course. So, whoops. Right, and then. Okay, you want to do that all just with that floor. Now we're looking at octaves, and we should do that. We need to be able to do that D minor 6 up and down the neck. And I'm just thinking off, on, off. And you get this parallel octave thing. So it's really, that kind of sound, but a little strident. Right? It's, anybody who's a counterpoint studier, knows that in pure counterpoint, you don't do octaves parallel, but it's not counterpoint when you're doing octaves in parallel. It's like one voice that is being harmonized in a way or thickened. So you're just moving around in parallel motion, accenting the offs and accenting the ons, and then of course you got to do. So this is G minor 6. Is that G minor? That is G minor 6. Whoops. Ooh. Not a. See, I don't do a lot of just parallel octaves because it kind of weirds me out. But it sounds, just kind of a funky sound. But now you do that in parallel. Now we're going to look at what I really want to look at, which is the broken chords out to the octaves, of course. So we'll pick a broken chord. We'll start here right in the middle of the neck. And I'm going to do 2 brokens and then 1 octave. So like this. So see, I know predictably that my voice is going to go up like that. So it's going to go down, up, while the bottom voice goes like that. See? And I'm not even thinking about it besides that I'm doing shell, and then octave. And then I'm going to do shell, and then octave, and then shell. No, that was wrong. I'm trying to stick to it. And then we're going to do G minor 6. And then maybe I'll try to do that took me a second. So that's what I should have done. That's pretty. So G minor 6 to the diminished, go down, and then I went up. Or I could go. That was not an octave chord. So I'd have to go. And now I gotta go down to A octave. Or that's not the easiest thing in the world to do. So I go like that, but I like this. So that's the stretch. Okay, so that's, I'm doing shell, shell, octave. Again, you got to practice your upper shell, whoops, your upper shell, and your lower shell. You got to practice all those. And then the octaves, there's multiple versions of the octaves too. We should talk about that. So here's an octave, and this is like I have a broken chord on top, and this is like I have a triad on top. But then I have more options. I could go, and then I have the triad on bottom. So I have three really reachable on the guitar. Triad on bottom, broken chord on bottom. It's like a drop two, like the top end of a drop two, but it's just a broken chord. Or triad on top, triad on top, triad on bottom, broken chord on top. You know, does that make sense? That's the way I think of it. Or, you know, you can think of it other ways, because of course a triad on top is a broken chord on bottom, but you just got to see these things. So then, so I can go, let's see. And then I could decide to go like that with a triad on top. Or I could go, sorry. And then I hear them like that, and now I have a broken chord on top. See? Makes different voicings, different motions, right? So I go like that. Whoops. So I go like a, and then that's how you get all that. Really, the little fine details of motion is thinking about stuff like that. And so when you're doing octave chords, and you're doing them in parallel, you should go, and then I would do all of these. So I go, whoops, and then some of them are going to be pretty tricky. This one can be a bit of a stretch, and then and so on and so forth. Some people are not going to want to do this. It's okay. It's just what I think. I should do this more. And then you can stick in one. You can go like keep to one. And then, so that's doing the triad on top, you see? Triad on top, triad on top, triad on top. And then I would go broken chord on top, broken chord, and then broken chord. I need to practice these more. Broken chord, and then I can go instead of broken chord on top, I can go the tricky. My pinky's gonna get stretched a lot on these. That's not bad, and then that's convenient. Oops, I did that wrong. So there we go. Tricky when you get down there. And then, and so on. Okay, so these are the ideas on this one. This is looking at broken chords or incomplete chords or shell chords, which are 4-note chords without one of the middle notes, going out to octave chords. And all of the pretty motion that we can find, especially because now you have the broken chord that has variant versions. You can do the high and the low, and then you got 3 on the octave. You got the triad on top, the broken chord on top, and the triad on the bottom. And those are the most varied ones besides the double octave chord that has a lot of choices you can go through. Of course, drop 2s are going to be drop 2s, you know, and drop 3s and drop 2 and 4s, unless you're like making one of the high or the low note up an octave or down an octave. I kind of think of those as the same as drop 2s. When I take a drop 2 and I put, you know, that's a version of doing in this. That is like a drop 2. We'll look at that later. Anyway, I hope that this has been fun. This has just been looking at smaller moves in the elevator. So dealing with that part from thirds out to octaves, which I feel like is the part that we neglect. And there are all kinds of beautiful motion. I haven't even looked at borrowing with you guys on it, or other voicings, you know, of course, doing the 6 on the 5 for E flat 7, or just E flat 7 or E flat 7 dominant 7 flat 5, or doing octatonic. Oh, there's so many things. So yeah, so there's other options. But thanks for following, and there'll be more to come. So keep practicing.